Are boxing fans getting it so good with these shows in Saudi that we're failing to notice a good show when we see one? And the reason why I asked that question is the finalization, we'll call it that, for the Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk card has been revealed. And I look at it here and I think this is a very good card. Very, very good card. And somehow I've seen people online say that actually it's quite weak. It's not a particularly good card. Now, I know that the Joshua Ngannou show was pretty good. I enjoyed that. It was a pretty good undercard, very competitive fights on it. You know, Nicky Ball against Ray Vargas. Obviously, Zhang versus Parker. Joshua Ngannou, well, I didn't think it would be the most competitive, and it certainly wasn't. It was a pretty good card. The Day of Reckoning card was just phenomenal. And as too was the Fury Ngannou card. That was a brilliantly fun fighting card. A fun card, I should say, fight card. Well, fight card, yeah, call it that. That was a brilliant card. It was all heavyweights except one fight. And there's not one of these cards, I should say, that does not have a fight that's memorable on it. And that's what I like about these shows. They're giving you some really good fights and memorable shows, and I like them. And obviously, if what we're hearing is true, we are going to be spoiled and then some for the June 1st show, which is going to be obviously headlined by Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev. You know, that fight in of itself, you know, for me, that fight, it's like, never mind the undercard, just give me that fight. Just so happens that we're probably going to have one of the greatest shows of the last 20, 30 years. Because if it's what we're hearing, some of the rumors, if this is true, you know, Wilder versus Zhang, Dubois versus Hergovich, you know, potentially Nicky Ball against Josh Warrington Lee Wood, to name a few. Unbelievable stuff that's going to be on. Absolutely unbelievable. That really is just unbelievable. But the Fury Usyk card, it's not a weak card. You know, so some people are like, you know, apart from the main event, the rest of the card is not great. It's like, what? Are you crazy? So when I look at this card on paper, we have Mark Chamberlain. Mark Chamberlain is entertaining. You know, that fight he had against Gavin Gwynn, he gave Gavin Gwynn a hell of a beating in that fight. But that was entertaining. I enjoyed watching that fight. Not for obviously, I don't want to see a guy get the crap beat out of him. But Chamberlain's a full entertaining fighter. Kovalev is back. I love Sergei Kovalev. I certainly loved him in his prime as a fighter, you know. I think now a cruiserweight, I mean, he's got to be pushing 40 now, if he's not already there. But he's got to be close to it now. I think it's safe to say he's seen better days. He's in there against the guy 16-0, Robin Safar. I think it's how you say that guy's name, 31 years old, from Sweden. Campaigned at cruiserweight, and yeah, he's been a fully fledged cruiserweight by the looks of things. Kovalev was never he's actually, no, he was a small cruiserweight at one stage, but now he seems well and truly in that. That's going to be a good fight. Isaac low IQ. Whenever he's in a fight that's competitive, it's normally a fun, entertaining fight. David Nyeka, I've spoken about him before. He's fought on a few shows this side of the pond. He's fought on a few shows back in his native New Zealand. Made his pro debut on the undercard of Joe Parker versus Junior Fa. Fought on the undercard of Joe Parker, Chisora 2 in the I think that was in the O2, and don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was in the O2. So I'm familiar with Nyeka. Bronze medal at the Olympics in 2021. It was the 2020, you know, Tokyo. So I look forward to seeing him. Atelma continue his journey against, you know, a guy who he's been stopped a few times, but looks like a bit of a step up. Two of those losses, ironically, were to Tom Schwartz, amazingly. That's not a good sign. So on paper, it looks a bit of a step up, but it probably won't be. But I look forward to seeing Atelma. Ajit Kabayel, Frank Sanchez. Now I know on paper that has the potential to maybe be more of a boxing purists fight, but it's still two top heavyweights nonetheless. And I've heard rumours the winner will likely be WBC mandatory, so it has some serious implications. Joe Cordina, Anthony Kakache. I think Kakache is a bit long in the tooth now, and Joe Cordina, although Joe Cordina didn't set the world alight last time around, so let's see how that goes, but still a world title fight. Jayot Pattaya, Myris Breed's first fight was brilliant. I expect this second fight to be good, but I think it'll be more one-sided. And then obviously we have Usyk Fury as the main event. I honestly don't see how anyone can complain about that card. I genuinely look at that card and think that is a very strong card. Considering the main event you have in Usyk Fury, that is a mighty strong card. Very, very strong card, and I don't really know how anyone could look at that and not think, because believe me, we've had some dud pay-per-views. We've had some dud non-pay-per-views where you look at the undercard and you're like, what the hell? I look, and I know this for a fact because all we ever talk about is this main event. Anyone remember Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko? Do you remember that fight? We all remember it. It was phenomenal. It's been, come the end of April, it will have been how many years? 7 years. This is scary when you look at these fights and you think, God, they're so long ago. It was actually scary. But yeah, do you remember that fight? Of course you do. Even if you weren't watching boxing at the time, you've gone and rewatched that fight. Of course you know it. Who fought in the undercard? Yeah, I know, because it was a small card and it wasn't great. Katie Taylor fought in the undercard, as did Luke Campbell, as did Scott Quigg, as did someone else, a prospect who got stopped in the last few seconds of the 8th round. I think it was an 8-rounder. Haven't heard of him. Forget who it was. Haven't heard of him before or since. And obviously he got stopped by pretty much a journeyman who he was beating the crap out of. Can't remember who that was actually, but I remember the knockout. That was it. It wasn't a great card, but no one cares because the main event was so good. This card, the main event, we all care about that, but goddamn, we've got a strong undercard to boot. So I think we have been spoiled with some of these shows. Well, I don't think we have been spoiled with some of these shows in Saudi, and I've no doubt that we will continue to get spoiled with them because it's insanity, and long may it last. Hopefully a long time, long may it continue. I think we need to kind of check ourselves when we see a show on paper that maybe isn't as strong as, say, the previous one. That doesn't mean it's a bad card. Would I say that this Tyson Fury Usyk show on paper is going to be as good or looks on paper as strong as the June 1st show, which hasn't been titled yet? Well, if the rumors are true, what we're getting, then I'd say no, it's not strong. Does that mean it's a bad card? Hell no. It's still a flipping good card. It's flipping brilliant. So, yeah, I think we need to look at this for what it is. It's a great card. Is it the strongest one they've had? No, but it just goes to show how strong the cards are. Because if this was on regular DAZN, regular TNT, and it was in the UK, and say Saudis never got involved, we would literally be looking and we'd be saying, how in God's name have they put this on? Well done to everyone involved. The fact the Saudi shows have been so good, you people looking and going, it's not that good, is it? It's the main event, but the rest of it's not that good. No, it's good. Trust me, it's good. Let me know your thoughts. Just thought I'd do a quick video on that in the comments. Hope you enjoyed it, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. And now for now, lads and lasses, I should say, I'll talk to you. Peace.